Well, the Iraqi people's been asking for a lot of reform, radical reforms actually, to fight corruptions and to fight the lack of actions regarding providing services and many aspects, interventions in the affairs of Iraq by the United States, and plotting against the fight against ISIS by the Popular Mobilization Forces. This situation has been created by the Americans in the first place by creating this sectarian division in Iraq and a political system based on this sectarian division, a system which is not capable of working at all. In fact, this system is an incubator of problems. Corruption is very big in Iraq. There are billions of dollars being looted by ministers and by political groups in Iraq, and nobody was accountable for all these thefts that has been taking place in the past 13 years. So people are fed up with the lack of services, with the corruptions which is reaching in every corner of the states in Iraq, across the political spectrums, whether it's the presidency, whether it's the cabinet, whether it's parliament, even the judiciary suffer from huge level of corruptions as well. And people just had enough of that, and they started demonstrating and demanding things that's reflected in parliament. There are some question marks regarding some of the people who took actions in ousting the Speaker of Parliament in the past few days. But actually these people know damn well that actually what they are doing has popular support behind them as well. And they are thinking of the future as well, because they are implementing what the people are demanding. The people are not only demanding services and against corruptions, they think the political system is being created by the American is not working at all and need to be changed.
Okay. Well, what are we looking at, Nabil Mikhail? Because if it's a matter of reforms, Abadi is trying. He has said that he's pushing to replace the party-affiliated ministers with technocrats. Third time added right now. 5 ministers, from what I'm reading here, have been approved. So there is some headway. But do you think that this deadlock is going to be broken, or are there foreign hands at play?
It depends on the response from the opposition. I can see that there is a genuine opposition inside the parliament against Al-Ghibari and the Speaker of the House or the parliament, and then it shifted quickly to the responsibility of the Prime Minister. So here is a genuine political game of government versus opposition, and it's a difficult one. So if Mr. Al-Abadi has made some cabinet reshuffling, the question is how satisfactory is this to the parliamentary blocs that are opposed to him. I should also say that how satisfactory it is to the loyalists to former Prime Minister Nouri al-Maliki, and also in a wider perspective how acceptable it is to the demonstrators who have really genuine concern about the situation in Iraq and are calling for radical and bigger change. So it is actually a big challenge. So the question depends on how much coordination there will be between the Speaker of the House and the Prime Minister. Second, how each will come to aid the other. Like say, if the Parliament is dissolved, that would be really a big problem, not just for the legislative branch, but also for the executive branch. So I think Al-Abadi will try to be very skillful, very cautious, will not do everything in just one stroke, but he will prefer gradual change. We have still, I believe, 48 hours because he promised more cabinet reshuffling in 48 hours. So the question in the short term is how satisfactory the reforms are. In the longer term, how genuine, how structured these reforms are to remedy a difficult situation inside Iraq in its politics and its society.
Well, Sabah Jawad, even if Abadi has a sincere push for reforms, for getting rid of corruption, for having a government of technocrats. You're looking at 100 deputies who have been holding a sit-in in and around the main chamber for nearly 2 weeks now, which has brought the government to a standstill. Do you think, whose agenda are they following?
Well, I mean, I think they are following the agenda of the people. I think all Abbadi promise of reform, because of the popular demand, actually fizzled out to basically nothing. First of all, he agreed to submit a new cabinet of technocrats that was sat on by the leaders of the political blocs, so-called political blocs, which is mainly corrupt political parties that govern and share power in Iraq. And in fact, the leader of the parliament refused even to put it to the votes, because he knew in advance actually people will reject these recommendations from the prime minister, which led actually to the meeting of parliament of more than 170 member of parliament ousting the Speaker of Parliament. And frankly, even the Leader of Parliament did not challenge this decision by the Parliament to the Federal Court as well. That means basically admittance that the action of these MPs, the 170 MPs, are legitimate and within the guideline and the rules of the Iraqi Parliament as well. What we've seen in Parliament today is that Salim al-Jubouri, the Speaker of the Parliament, turned up with hundreds of his bodyguards and without the presence of the majority of the people who took decision to oust him, and he moved to another hall in Parliament and conducted so-called legitimate sitting of Parliament. There are disputed figures now. In fact, some people are saying that the MP who voted for the new ministers, and they voted only for 5 ministers from the entire cabinet, are illegitimate action by the leader of parliament, because he is no longer leader of parliament. Therefore, he could not conduct a sitting of the parliament, and he did not mount any legal challenge against the actions of the MPs as well. Some people say the meeting was attended by only 100 MP in support of the Speaker of the Parliament, which falls much below the required number for a legitimate session. Okay,
well, Nabil Mikhail, we can't talk about Iraq without talking about the countries who have influenced Iraq. And of course, you can tell us which countries they are and what agenda they have currently.
Look, this is a very complicated situation, and let us just focus on what was said by President Obama. This will be my point of departure because I'm talking from Washington. Obama said this is a division within the Shiite household. It could be true to some extent, but also it conceals many important facts, is that all Iraq's populations are concerned about change, and they are watching warily all these political squabbling and the switch from one position to the other. So if America wants to give Iraq a good advice, I think that should be done on 2 levels. Good communications from Washington to tell al-Ibadi, like for instance, I believe that if the